Hey, how's it going? So, again, second time. You might be able to tell that I'm kind of yelling because I tried a third thing with a microphone and it's just not wanting to work. So, I wasn't prepared to do anything as far as this subject is concerned. It just sort of happened, and I thought, what the heck? I wanted to test the mic, and so I did a video, and then when I did the playback, I couldn't hear a dang thing. Very frustrating. So this is going to be quick, because I don't know if I can keep remembering to keep yelling. Okay, I am making red beans and rice, which my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, used to make every weekend when she'd come visit my mom and me. And I would get so sick of it after years. But here is my vegetable portion, but that I have since mixed with meat since I'm doing this again. But it is the Trinity, your bell pepper, your green onion, and your celery. I added mushrooms because I like them. And there's salt pork. And that is the pink and white stripes that you see in there. And I don't usually eat very much meat, but I had some salt pork in the house because even though I got sick of having it 7 days a week for years, as an adult, I crave red beans and rice the way my grandmother made them. So I keep a piece of salt pork in the house for when I want to make my dish. um, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's not really a cooking video that I'm making, but it made, while I was making the food, it made me realize that I was doing something that I wanted to talk about. So, I've already mentioned my paternal grandmother. And the other thing that's been happening, sort of coincidentally, is that I have been wanting what I call grandpa food. And grandpa food is, this is my paternal grandfather, so not married to the grandmother I was talking about. Just be clear. So, anyway, the grandpa food is anything that can be eaten from a saltine. And I found myself craving tuna fish on saltines. And I have crackers in the house all the time, but not tuna so much because of the mercury and just until I get it made into a salad, the preparation of it I find unpleasant because I don't want that fish juice on my hands because it stays on there. So saltine food generally I wasn't eating, but I didn't have tuna, so I was like, okay, I'll have peanut butter and jelly. And that was fine. And then the next time I wanted it, I was like, I wanted egg salad. And it's all tuna salad, egg salad, peanut butter and jelly. My grandfather, as I knew him, lived with my aunt in his old age because he had stroke and heart attack, and the stroke made him sort of physically messed up, which is ironic because I now have a lot of the same sort of physical maladies that I'm dealing with. I'm in a wheelchair. I did not have a stroke. Uh, just similar, interesting. Um, and so I just, they're both of my grandparents are in my head, is what I'm getting at. um, so, and just let me quickly insert here. When I get done making this food, I will post some pictures of it on Twitter and maybe also on Facebook, probably. Um, but it just made me realize, kind of while I was like, I was getting this coming to me with the grandpa food because there was something to that. Like, it's so specific, like, gotta have it on the saltine. But I knew it was about him. And I often smell smoke. And I think he was a cigar smoker, but he may have done pipes too. I have an uncle that was either or one of those. There was definitely older men in my family on my dad's side that were big stinky tobacco smokers. Although somebody had the cherry pipe tobacco, which I love to smell like unlit. And I think that was my grandfather. But anyway, he lives with my aunt, and so she would have prepared stuff either for him or for the house or whatever because she had two kids herself at the time. And so it's like all this significance, right? And then the wanting the red beans and rice, that doesn't happen as often, but I also had like the same sort of thing happen when I was like, oh, I gotta have it. Like, oh my God, I didn't want it for years. And all of a sudden, I want this certain kind of food made by a certain kind of family member. So I understand now that was like a way for them to remind me of them, I suppose, to get my mind thinking on them. And I didn't even realize like that's what it was. And I think that is what it is that it's their spirit like coming to me to remind me of things, to get me thinking about stuff, and to sort of enact dormant stuff in my psyche. I That's what I think. And I have a busy, fizzy, silly mind, and there's all kinds of stuff going on all the time. Stuff I actually don't talk about it. Can you believe it? I don't share everything that crosses my mind. Oh my God. It's busy in my head. It's busy in here. And I think that when they want to reach out to you and comfort you or advise you or nudge you a certain way for your protection because they will know things that you don't, they will be able to see along your timeline more clearly than you will, and they will then be able to advise you such as they can in the ways to help you avoid hurting yourself, I think is the best way to put it. So I just wanted to share that with people because what are you doing that you don't really have a good explanation for, but you just want to do it? Dang it, it's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting anything. It's just unusual for you, but why the heck not? There can't be anything wrong with it. I mean, within reason, use your judgment. You know, try not to give in to any psychoses if you can. That, you know, but you just don't want to be a danger to yourself or other people is what I'm trying to get at here. But anyway, oh, so as I'm trying to wrap up here, but I just love the sound of my own voice, I guess. Anyway, um, when I am done, when this is cooked, when the beans are cooked, I will show you. I will post a picture of it, but I will also post my own take on the grandpa food because this is something that I never ate with him, but it's my new favorite thing, and it will be my appetizer for the beans, and I will have white rice because that is the traditional accompaniment. Mine will be basmati. It doesn't matter. It's white. It's rice. It serves the purpose. Um, but the appetizer will be the saltine grandpa cracker food. The grandpa saltine cracker food, and this is my own interpretation on it, and I love it. I have been indulging in it. You might say overindulging in it, but do I seem like I don't indulge myself? Okay, so what the appetizer will be is peanut butter on a saltine with a couple of green olives. My new favorite. Oh my God, so good. Okay, so am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Hopefully this was loud enough. God, that's obnoxious. Okay, off to the playback. Thank you and good night. Part one, finito.